Usual suspects are at it again. As somebody that worked there, you know the deal. You just do. And that climate ain't changing. It ain't a changing anytime soon. They tell you the environment there is awful. It's toxic. It's terrible. You must stay silent if you don't agree under the precedent set by ESPN. That brings us to the current. Hey, welcome to Don't At Me. I'm your host, Dan Dakich. You know, we here at OutKick have long argued that, well, networks should allow sports commentators to discuss politics. We have, and that's one of the things that has made our little show and our little network grow into an absolute monolith. We talk honestly, and we are the perfect intersection of sports and politics. But the rules must apply to everybody, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, whatever they should apply. That just makes sense. But that's not the case at ESPN, and we have another example of that. It looks like the usual suspects are at it again. Back when I was at ESPN, 2018, the head man, ESPN chair, Jimmy Pitaro, put down an edict. He announced, we are banning political discussion. There is a ban on politics. In fact, Seth Greenberg and I were on Twitter. We were discussing the debate on Twitter. We got a call. Oh, harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy, but we got a harumph. Can't do that. We have banned it. That's politics. We weren't saying good or bad. We were just like, hey, that's a good idea. That's a bad idea. But here's the kicker. And we've chronicled this on OutKick, but another instance has occurred. They only enforce the policies against conservative voices, and that really kind of sucks. And it has actually led internally at ESPN to an incredibly bad culture. Like those people that I know, and there are a bunch of them members of the actual ESPN, we go to work every day ESPN, not the guys like me that would come in maybe on a weekend, maybe on a Thursday through Saturday, maybe during the tournament. I'm talking about the producers, the directors, the anchors, the hosts that are there. They clock in every day like normal workaday people. And there is an entire campus of them. And to a man and woman, they tell you the environment there is awful. It's toxic. It's terrible. Because everybody knows that you must stay silent if you don't agree with the liberal agenda that permeates ESPN. I can give you some examples. It's a one-way ban on politics, and we all know it. ESPN famously suspended Sage Steele in 2021 for answering political questions during an interview on an appearance for an outside podcast. It had nothing to do with ESPN. It had nothing to do with her job. It was an outside podcast. They suspended her now. Sage being Sage, she sued, she won, she got a big payout, and ESPN moved it along. However, management ordered then ESPN anchor, SportsCenter anchor, the uber-talented Ashley Brewer, now Kaminsky. She's married to former NBA and Wisconsin star Frank Kaminsky. They ordered her to delete a photo of a disabled Republican congresswoman attending a UFC event. That's what they allowed. Yeah, we're mad at you. And subsequently, they fired her. They let her go. You think it was because of that? Yes. She's a beautiful woman, the absolute prototype for who you want to see on TV. And they let her go, and for one reason and one reason only. No, it wasn't her idiotic husband who was a complete clown and douchebag. It was because she had conservative leaning. And those two firings, and I'm going to get to the third one here in a minute, but those two firings really opened the curtain to people that work there on how serious this is. To be a conservative at ESPN is equivalent to putting your head on a chopping block, waiting for the guillotine to come down and lop it off. And the people on the other side, the liberals, they know it, and they flaunt it. And it's ridiculous to the point where a little girl named Andrea Carter, she's so arrogant. Now, she has absolutely no history. She was a bad player at Tennessee, never coached, but she's an African-American girl that has a little energy to her. She refers to Jimmy Pitaro, the chairman, as Jimmy. I'll call Jimmy, not Mr. Pitaro. I always called him Mr. Pitaro. Jimmy, Well, I'll take care of this with Jimmy. Jimmy knows that I don't want to do it. And people on the set and people that work behind the scenes are like, what an arrogant posse. But that's what's happening there. I've told you about what's going on inside, like green rooms, what's going on inside makeup rooms on a daily basis. It's chaos. It's awful. The sisters, the liberal morons flaunt it, and everybody knows you're not allowed to say anything or else your head goes on the chopping block. And then last month, Sam Ponder spoke up, said network executive sent her angry emails after she just simply liked a Megyn Kelly tweet saying men don't need gynecologists. I don't need a gynecologist. No male I know needs a gynecologist. Men don't need gynecologists. Doesn't seem that difficult. That brings us to the current. Now, Taylor Tannenbaum is about as useless as can possibly be. I actually had her on our show because I was kind of under attack from women for a session that I got into with some clown. So she's covering something. What was it? Like, it was Colts camp for like a Fox News station. And she's totally useless. Big mouth, stupid opinions, knows nothing. Well, she got hired by Mark Packer to go in the ACC network. It was an idiotic hire. She's terrible at what she does. But, hey, guess what? She got a big mouth, and now she's on the network. She's ingrained. She, on Sunday, liked a post from UCLA student Janie Hahn in which she chants F-ICE. F-U ICE. Oh, and F-U the Trump administration. Now, that was during this lady Helen, or whatever the hell her name is, valedictorian speech. She liked it, along with the bearded presser in the back that's like, yeah. So this little girl, Han, doesn't like Trump and doesn't like, well, any of us. ICE. Okay. So the no politics ban got violated by this clown named Taylor Tannenbaum. All right. Well, guess what? It's weird. Weird that ESPN threatened people like Sage and Ashley Brewer and Sam Ponder for social media activity, but I'm sure they'll take no action on whoever Taylor Tannenbaum is for being cool with UCLA valedictorian and her F Trump and F ICE. That's Bobby Barack. Probably will get a raise. Tannenbaum's probably making $5 an hour. She made a big deal about her fat ass going over to, to the ACC network. Those of us in India are like, good, get her ridiculous self the hell out of here. She is now Mark Packer's product. Mark Packer's not there anymore, but you get the point. Now, under the precedent set by ESPN, Tannenbaum should have already been contacted by network brass, if not disciplined. Okay, after all, Sam Ponder, a conservative, was scolded for simply liking a tweet that stated a reality. Biological men don't need gynecologists. That's a fact. Jack. Now, I'm not expecting that anything happened to Tannenbaum, although I'm not sure it wouldn't have, because Tannenbaum is a nondescript, non-talented hack. So, long story short, maybe they did. While ESPN ordered Brewer to delete the post, Mark Jones has had a photo of Barack Obama pinned on his X account for years. Barack being the hero. Man, our most popular interview ever was with Bruce Pearl when he said what the nation knew, which is that Barack Obama divided the nation. In fact, a couple friends of mine I need to get the whole tape of that. Well, go to OutKick.com and you can get a tape of that. Anyway, ESPN released a statement condemning Steele's professionalism for answering a question about politics, but declined to comment when Elle Duncan, their raging lunatic, well, she praised Michelle Obama on ESPN television in July. The list goes on and on. Look, as somebody that worked there, you know the deal. You just do. No politics is bullshit. It should simply say no conservative politics. Is it bad? Not really, not to outsiders like us. We just watch ESPN for the games. But when you're working there, and I have many friends that still do, And I got a phone full of, can you believe this shit stuff from those people? Can you believe this bullshit? Can you believe blah, 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 blah? Yeah, I can believe it. I was there. Yeah, I can believe it. At my end of my time there, when COVID hit, I made up excuses not to have to go there. I didn't need to see Chimichanga or whatever the hell her name is acting like an idiot. I didn't need to see the crazy-ass women of ESPN acting like damn clowns. I saw it. That was enough. It was when I knew I had to leave ESPN because working there is, quote, miserable given the current climate. And that climate ain't changing. It ain't a changing anytime soon. Now, they can make a hell of a statement by getting rid of the little troll Tannenbaum, but I don't think they will. I don't. In fact, I know they won't. Please. Aaron Rodgers is about to be in hot water with the Wokies. Rodgers made a joke about Biden during a meeting with reporters. Oh, my God. After the team's first preseason game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rodgers was eventually seen walking off the field with defensive veterans T.J. Watt and Cam Haywood. So the reporter wanted to know, does Rodgers talk to the cornerstone players a lot? Oh, the in-depth of the NFL local media. All the time, Rodgers said. I'm not trying to break up that bromance because anytime I rip on one of the two, the other one takes his back real quick. I really love and respect that friendship. It's a cool one to watch. And this is where Rodgers becomes Rodgers. His mind fires so fast, he sometimes takes a question about X and translates it to talking about Y. Here's Rodgers' Joe Biden joke.
And, one of the weird things is I'm 21 years in the league, so I'm over there. Who do I know on Jacksonville? I know Heath Farwell, the special teams coach that I played against him. I know Chad Morton, he was with us. And I've met Trevor a few times, so I was kind of looking around going, doing the Joe Biden, all right, well, I guess I don't know anybody here, so I'm going to just walk off. And I found Cam and TJ, I'm like, we walk next to them.
You gravitate toward the old head, but are you intentional about trying to stretch with different guys every day with it?
The Joe Biden, well, that's all due. All right, here's Joe Biden wandering off at the G7 summit in 2024. This is what he's talking about. Look at my man. That's the president of the United States. Look at this. You idiots were going to vote. Not you, but you know what I mean. Idiots were going to vote. What's he doing? What are you doing there, Joe? What are you seeing there, kid? What's going on? Oh, hey, over here. Sausage. Sprouts. Oh, man. You guys voted, or people voted for that idiot. Look at it. We gotta walk off. Man, honest to God, the fact that guy got votes tells you the entire election, well, it was run by dumb people. It was just decided by complete idiots. And then, of course, there's Biden descending into the rainforest. That's right. Joe Biden giving a speech. Right. I'm going to go now. Where you going, Joe? Where you going, kid? He thought he was in the White House. You know how they do that in the White House when they talk to the nation and they walk back and they go down the tundra, whatever they call it. He actually thinks that's what he's doing. He does. Honest to God, so get mad at Aaron Rodgers all you'd like, and they are. But my God, man, don't get that mad because my boy here is walking off like a boss. That's right. Aaron Rodgers has already caught hell because, even though a guy's the president of the United States or was the president of the United States, somehow, some way, you're not allowed to criticize. Remember famously our friend Greg Doyle at the Indy Star when Biden fell off his bike said, well, anybody criticizing him is just me. He's a damn nice man. He's just an older, nice man. Now, let me see if I got this straight. Hold on here. Let me see if I understand. So you're not even allowed anymore to criticize the president of the United States? when he is on the other side? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're saying? Bullshit. If you are mad at Rodgers for saying, I don't want to be like Joe Biden, then you have not paid attention, even a little bit, to Joe Biden. And you are so up the ass of the liberal movement that you can't even take a joke. Now, he's been 21 years in the league. He doesn't know anybody over there. Let me make the parallel here if we're going to take this serious. Biden's been in Congress for like 6,000 years. He's always been a liar, doesn't know what's going on. If you want to get mad at Rodgers, get mad because he criticized the new helmets. He didn't like, they said they look like spaceship helmets or moon helmets. And he's been using the same helmet or the same company for 20 years. Look, I understand. Helmets are very personal. As somebody with a size 8 head that walked into a massive, and I mean helmets everywhere, motorcycle helmet shop when I got this scooter and couldn't find one that was comfortable on my head, I get it. But if you want to get mad at Rodgers, get mad at him for not understanding that NFL and doctors have worked together to create a better helmet, a safer helmet, because of CTE, concussions, and the protocols that they have. So you can bitch about the helmet, but you're going to have to give in. Anybody, and I think this should start. Last thing, I think this should start. We should start using, I don't want to be like Joe Biden wandering around. I don't want to be like Joe Biden wandering around looking for my car. You ever park your car, you can't find it, you're like, the hell? And my keys, the battery on the beep thing is out, so it's hardly working. I think that should be the new thing. Make it a verb or an adjective. I don't want to be like Joe Biden. I don't need to be. So if you're mad about that, go over in the corner and be mad. Seriously. Right over there. Hey, when you're no longer mad, come on over here. I want to talk to you. But until then, go on over there. 21 years in the league. He's been hit in the head. Maybe you don't know anybody. Maybe he doesn't know nothing. Hey, we'll talk to you tomorrow.